Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm your host, Jamal. With me, as always, is my co-host, the co-host of the most host, Reeve. Say what's up.
What's up, everyone? We're here again reviewing the frickin' cooking show.
Reviewing, cooking, good looking, lurking, smirking. Are those toes? I'm jerking. So, third mic is making a face. Let's introduce him. It's hold on, let me check my notes. What's his name again?
Let me check your notes.
So many
Jackson,
notes.
Brian.
Yeah,
is
that's what the
here
DMV calls
on
me.
Third mic, Brian Jackson.
Or in New York they don't call it the DM, or in New Jersey they don't call it the DMV. They call it the MVC, Motor Vehicle. I don't know. It's just weird that it's not the DMV. I don't know why. What's up, everybody? It's Brian, or as everyone has always called me on Coffee Mug's Brain.
So, just so everyone knows, quick update: me and Brian aren't on the outs anymore. We're on the ins.
Oh,
We're on the ends.
We're on the ins. We've repaired our friendship. We're on the ins. I know a lot of people are worried about that. We're getting a lot of messages. People asking, "How do you guys are such good friends? Why are you guys beefing?" And I was like, "I'm not beefing." He might
That's
be
weird.
beefing.
The messages I get are like, "Why is Jamal so mean to you? Why is Jamal being mean to you?" And then Jamal says that you're beefing, but you're not really doing anything. It's mostly Jamal, and I'm just
Yeah.
always like, "Yeah."
And that's the opposite of the message I'm getting, because they're like, "Gosh, Brian is like being very passive aggressive right now." It's like, why wouldn't he just say what's on his mind, and like if he's got something to say? Why does he have to like kind of hide it and like dance around it? Why doesn't he just come out and say it? I'm like, guys, I don't know. That's just Brian's thing.
Because
But
I'm a
we're on the ends.
wimpy. I'm a wimpy.
Well, I didn't say that, but
I'm
we're on
a
the ends.
wimpy.
We're on the ends. We're all the three best friends again, but we're not in love with each other because that's a rule that we
That's a
can't
rule.
have on this podcast. But we're back, and especially Brian is back because he was on a different zip code. Brian was taking yet another vacation. This guy.
This is my only vacation of the year.
so
What are you
many
talking about?
vacations. He's
You've
always
taken
on
so
vacation.
many vacations.
I've-
You've been to concerts. That's a vacation from life. You went to restaurants. That's a vacation from home dinner. You
That's
went
true.
to
Wrestling shows.
wrestling shows.
Like
That's a
7 of
vacation
them.
from watching wrestling on TV.
Yep, you've been taking all these vacations.
Well, this was an actual vacation. We traveled, we drove, we packed up the Kia, put the dogs in the Kia.
Both
Went on-
dogs, not just the dog.
Both, yeah, we take them both.
Yep.
Went up to New Hampshire in the White Mountains, the beautiful
that-
White Mountains.
And that translates both ways if people are thinking what I'm thinking. The White Mountains.
Here's what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
I've not spent a ton of time above New York. I've gone up there a couple times, been to Boston, been to Maine, been to New Hampshire. The people of color stop at New York. It has been my experience that people of color stop at New York.
Yeah, it's as far north as they want to go.
It's too cold.
Yeah.
It's too cold.
It is always so. It's weird. It is very prevalent. It's always like, huh. And then you feel kind of weird, and it's like, is this okay?
It's funny to me when people are like, New Hampshire, why is that such a conservative state? I'm like, well, bunch of white people,
Yeah.
very small area. It's going to happen.
And New Hampshire's slogan on their license plate is "Live free or die."
Die harder, right? And
Live
it's
free or
got-
die harder. Yes,
Yes,
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. It's a good sponsor.
Yeah, really good tie-in. They really like made it. You don't even think about it how like flawlessly it goes together. But man,
It just
what
has a
weird
picture
little
of
state.
Nakatomi Plaza and like
Mhm.
fire coming out of it, and like Bruce Willis with blood on his face on the other side of the license plate. It's a pretty
Hell
cool
yeah.
license
Yeah,
plate.
yeah,
My favorite Halloween movie.
yeah. It's a
Join
weird.
up, get a couple friends. It'll be a good time, they said.
Go trick or treating. That debate, man. Is it a Halloween movie or is it not? It is for me.
Hey, Hans.
Trick or treat.
Trick or
Trick or treat,
Hans.
motherfucker.
Mhm.
He is a cowboy in that, right?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm
Decided to
saying. It's a
go, yeah.
Halloween movie. Yeah.
So,
Decided to go as a cowboy for Halloween.
hmm
There's a cop in it. People love dressing up as cops for Halloween.
people
Yes.
love the cop. I dressed up as that cop for Halloween.
Did you?
Yeah. I
Now,
only did the line.
were you that cop or were you that same cop in Family Matters?
I was that same cop, but in Family Matters, but I was pretending to be in Die Hard. So it was like,
So those aren't the same universe.
I know, but I was being the
Okay.
same cop. So I was trying to
Okay.
blend universes. I was
Okay.
trying to third beat it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I do
So-
know what you're saying, improv. New Hampshire's a weird little state. Everything is ski chalet. Everything is like chalet this, chalet that, and I'm like,
Mhm.
shall I ski? And I
Shall
didn't.
they?
There was
Shall
no
they?
there was no
I-
snow.
I
We
don't
did a
know.
bunch of hiking. Ate the food where we were like wasn't anything to write home about except for our last meal there, which was I sent pictures to you
Mhm.
guys. It
Yeah,
was
you
so
did.
good.
Look good.
If you guys are ever in the White Mountains, White Mountain Cider Co. It was amazing. And our server, Dora, great. Fantastic fun
Wow.
lady with a little
Is she an
dragon necklace
explorer?
on, little dragon necklace.
Okay.
Is she an explorer?
No, I think she was just probably an old stoner. And she was fantastic. It was great. It was
So
such
Dora,
a
not the
good meal.
explorer. Okay.
Yeah.
Dragon necklace. Did it ever start glowing at some point? And she was like, I got to get out of here.
It did start glowing, and she was like, "Oh, you know what this means?" And we were kind of like, "No." She was like, "Good, you're not supposed to know." Why'd you ask?
She's
Just
like,
wanted
"Get
to be
out."
sure.
Well, that's
Mm.
smart of her. She has to check in to make sure her secrets are still, you know,
Yeah.
not circulating around. Because if you guys are
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, you know, it's a dragon from another universe that's contacting you because it needs your help,
Yep.
then
She
she's
did-
like, oh,
when
Cat's out of bag.
I reached my hand out to grab the bill, she did grab my hand and flip it over and look at my wrist, and she was like, never mind, and threw it
Mhm.
back at me, and I was like, what? And she said she thought she saw a matching tattoo,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I didn't have it, and then she showed me her tattoo,
Mhm.
and it did say "Live, Laugh, Love" across her wrist.
yeah,
Mhm.
of course, yeah.
Yours just says live, laugh, right?
Yeah, mine just says "Live, Laugh." It started to hurt. I didn't get the love. They were planning to do it. I asked for all three. They did live, and I was like, "Oh boy." They did laugh, and I was like, "Okay, I'm done."
Mhm.
And
So
it
you sure
works.
you don't want the love? And you're like, no,
No, I'm good.
I
Yeah,
don't want any love.
hurts too much.
Yeah, it's too painful.
Yeah, it hurts a lot, but it's great, a fantastic meal overall. Good little trip. Dogs got a lot of ticks on. We kept finding ticks on their
Oh,
little
no.
heads crawling around.
Oh boy.
So we
I
did some
hope-
tick research. The little
I-
black ticks are mostly fine. If they have the little color on them, that's when they're bad. Only
Yeah.
the females carry disease. 40% of ticks carry Lyme disease. 40%. And to that I say, God, what are you doing?
Well, there's no condoms. Ticks
Yeah,
don't have any condoms.
they're too
They're out
small.
there fucking, and it's just wild, wild west out
They
there.
make more fitting ones now to say that they're
Mhm.
too small.
Yeah.
You just got to buy them. I mean, it's embarrassing, but just buy them.
It's super embarrassing. They always drop out of my hand. Not that I've used them, but they always drop out of my hand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, if go to New Hampshire if you want to see a bunch of white people, and mountains. We took a train up to the top of Mount Washington, and it was so foggy you couldn't see anything. It apparently
Nice.
has the worst weather in North America or in the world. I think it says
In the world,
in the world.
it's because it's the place where the highest recorded wind gusts has ever been recorded by man.
Mm.
And that's to say, whereas a woman done it, and they didn't write that down, but
Okay.
it was like over
Well,
200
she was
miles per
swept
hour.
off the mountain, I think, when she was
Yeah.
trying to do it.
Mhm.
And it's always rainy there and crappy there, and
Has there been any hurricanes or anything like actual natural disasters there?
well, see, I think what they think
Because that seems like
That
if you live in
seems
an
bad.
area like
Reeves,
that,
you're wrong.
Yeah.
Reeves, you're wrong.
that would be worse.
Just
But,
wind on itself
just
is the worst kind of nature that you
Yeah.
can have to deal with. Doesn't have to
Mhm.
be in tornado form or hurricane form. Listen
Thousands
to
of
you-
people don't have to die for it to be bad, Reeves.
Yeah, listen
Okay.
to you and your privilege, Reeves.
That's right.
Uh,
Yep,
it
that's
can
a good
just
point.
be a super windy day, and it's so frustrating to be outside. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
windy outside.
The worst weather in the world.
Think about all the things you can't do when it's just windy outside. It's like I can't read outside. I
Yeah,
can't
no. All the
look at my
pages.
business papers outside.
Mhm. They go everywhere.
Yeah, I can't fly my kite
It's because it's
because
too
I can't
windy.
even.
It'll
It's
pick you
too
up.
windy. Yeah,
Pick
I
you up.
can't even get it up because I'm like throwing it up and it's just crashing into
Go
stuff.
sideways.
Yeah, it's going sideways. I'm like, this is too windy. I need it to be less windy but still windy.
Can't golf.
Can't golf. Can't
Can't
play.
golf.
Can't play sports.
Can't
No.
pee.
No, absolutely
can't
not.
pee.
Gets
Oh,
everywhere all
gosh.
over my car. My car's ruined
I
now.
love a good pee straight out
Mhm.
in front of me. And when it's windy and I see the curve, and I'm like, look, one of these things is already curved. I don't need a second curve. All right.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys know what I'm talking about, right? My driveway.
Yes.
Yes. Very curved.
Yeah, my driveway is very curved. And so when I try and pee straight and it's windy, it just matches the driveway and I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, worst weather in the world said. I got a picture of me next to the sign. I'll show it to you guys.
Nice.
I got some souvenirs that have nothing to do with New Hampshire. I went to a store called Headlines, and this is getting long, but I'll run it up, which we thought was just like, it had a weird font that said Headlines, but the window had wind chimes in it. And I've been wanting a wind chime, so we go in there. Turns out it's a head shop, a souvenir shop, and a knife store. And I bought
Headlines.
a
Okay.
Corinthian Bells wind chime that I'm
Holy
very happy
crap.
about.
Holy crap.
It was $60, which
Holy
was one of the
Holy
cheaper wind chimes there.
What?
Wow.
Very excited about
You
it.
can make your own wind chimes, though.
No, this
right?
one sounds beautiful. This one's
It's a
beautiful.
Corinthian.
These are
Oh.
Corinthians bells, and it's in C. It's beautiful,
See,
beautiful.
Reeves
navy.
is thinking zirconian. He's not thinking Corinthian.
That's right.
No,
So,
these are beautiful wind chimes.
C's a wonderful key to be into. So
And I bought a pocket knife.
okay.
for protection.
Yeah.
When
Protection.
I talked to the guy behind the pocket knife stand,
Mhm.
and I was like, I'm vaguely interested in a pocket knife. And that turned into a 30-minute conversation with him telling me things I did not know and will never know about knives, about like the hardness of the steel and the softness of the steel and how it like rusts and
Mhm.
all this stuff. He showed me 5 knives. One of them he said would be good for weddings because it was small. He was like, this is the one you want if you're going to a wedding. And he was like, I cut my red meat with my pocket knife. And I was like, what the fuck is, it was the wildest conversation I've ever heard. I just was like, I want mine so I can cut a rope one day. You know? I hate to-
Because Brian's going to be tied up and he's like, oh, thank God I got that pocket knife. And he like wiggles
Yeah.
his pocket knife out and he like cuts the rope and escapes
Yeah.
and saves his family.
that's all I want. Just in case if I ever need to wiggle out to get my pocket knife and cut a rope. That's all I wanted. But he told me you can cut red meat with it, but then you got to oxidize it with a lime or a lemon. And I was like,
Mhm. Or it'll get rust.
So I spent $48 on that.
So you've spent $78 or something so far?
No, I was at like $110 what I ended up spending between my
Oh,
Corinthian
60,
bells,
right.
yeah, and taxes and my pocket knife, which I don't know where it is.
Yeah,
I'll
was it?
show you
Let's
guys.
show us that Damascus steel. How many times was the knife folded over the
Yeah.
steel?
Just once.
Just once.
once.
Boo.
And then yesterday we went to Target. And we were
Mhm.
buying Halloween stuff, which is already picked over, folks. If you haven't decorated for Halloween yet, it's picked over. It's done.
Well, yeah, because October 1st happened and everyone went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bought a Dustin Rhodes action figure. It's the first one I saw in the wild of these AEW action figures, so I had to get it.
Man.
Not stoked that it's Dustin, but I had to buy it.
Brian, don't open it. It loses its value if you open
And
it.
or is this why we need to have a video tier so
I
people
think
can
so.
see
People
this?
can see
You know,
this.
I'm doing an
the
unboxing video
collecting.
right now.
Well, that's interesting.
All right, here's my knife.
Given the email I got from Tom.
Brian's knife says, "Don't tread on me,"
Yeah.
So here's
and
my
it's
knife.
yellow.
It's
got
green.
That's a Proud Boys knife.
All right, watch.
Yeah.
Ready? Watch this.
Oh.
Okay, he's gonna hurt himself one
Holy
day.
This is terrifying, right?
He's going to hurt himself one day. Just putting that out there right now. He's gonna fool around with that knife. He's gonna cut himself one day, and we're gonna talk about it on the podcast one day.
I will say this that does look small enough that you could get it into a wedding. Like if
Yeah.
it's
Well, this isn't even the wedding one though.
That's
There's a
not the
smaller
wedding.
one that he was
That's
would be
not the
good for a
wedding
wedding.
one.
okay.
It came with a carrying case. Ooh.
So him saying that leads me to believe either he had a problem with that, or someone came to him, which is the scenario I prefer, and was like, I need a knife that's small enough that I could bring it to the wedding. And then
And no one
after
knows.
he helped that person, he was like, well, I have to incorporate this into my whole spiel now
Yeah.
because there's a market for this.
Yeah. And he didn't know there was a wedding knife market.
Yeah.
And now he does know.
Yeah.
Which I have known about the wedding knife market. Every wedding I go to, I bring a knife with me.
Yeah.
Because
Really?
you never, yeah. Because here's why: one, you don't know what's going to happen. If they're going to say yes, I do, I don't. You don't know what's going to break out.
Yeah, what's gonna happen afterwards? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I always want some kind of protection on me. And secondly, bears. And as we
Yes.
learned by going to Stephen Mann's wedding, there are bears,
Yes.
and you have to have a knife on you.
There was a bear there. It was very hungry.
Very hungry,
It was at a distance away from us, but it was a freaking bear and it was in the
but
middle
it
of
was
the day.
big.
Yeah. They could have crushed us.
Yeah.
Really
Easily.
hungry. Yeah.
I think the bear smelled my cologne. It was like, you smell like honey.
Do we have that honey cologne?
Yeah, I was wearing it was just syrup I put on myself.
Yeah.
I call it cologne because I took a bath in it.
And it smells like honey and not
It
syrup.
smells like honey. It's honey based syrup.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's what the bees thought. He was covered in
Yeah.
bees.
Yeah, bees were bothering me.
Your bees was the suit, right? You had a suit of bees?
I had a suit of bees, and then the bear was like, "Oh, I smell honey," and you know how bears love to mess with bees.
They're mortal
Mhm.
enemies.
Mortal enemies.
Yeah.
They both want
So-
the same thing.
So, all right, Brian took a trip. Bought some knives, bought some chimes,
Mhm.
Corinthian chimes.
Corinthian bells.
So he had an interesting week. Reeves, did you get anything from Tom?
So, great question. And it is completely unplanned how this kind of ties in a little bit with what we were just talking about. I reached out to Tom because I was like, I haven't gotten anything from you in a while. You know, what's
Yeah.
going on? How are you
What's the deal?
doing? Yeah, how's everything going with everything you've been writing? Didn't respond. And then earlier this morning, he didn't respond to the email. He sent me another email that's kind of like the subject's like must read now. And I opened it up and it was like there's nothing in the subject line. There's just an attachment to like a YouTube video that's like private at this point. And
Unlisted.
it's unlisted. And it's him and kind of what, Brian was talking about with, unpacking videos that I guess maybe we'll get into. I think that's what Tom wants to get into now because it was him and it's like he has like a box and he kind of opens it and he's like, oh, what do we got in here? And he pulls out and it's like corn. And he's like, and he shows it to the camera and he kind of rolls it around slowly. And he was like, yeah, this is a very good piece of corn. It's very nice. It's very yellowy. And then he kind of puts it to the side. And he's like, what else do we got in here? And he pulls out and it's like a zucchini or something.
Mhm.
And like shows it around. And it's like, I mean, honestly, this thing is like 45 minutes of him I think he just went to the farmer's market and got a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And it's just showing just food. I think he thinks there's like a market for this, which I guess there is.
I mean, you watched it.
I watched the whole thing, and it was one of those things that, like, in the beginning, I'm like, "What the hell? What is this? Why do I care?" And then at a certain point, I was kind of like, "Well, what else is in the box?" It seems like there are some interesting things. Oh, that's a nice tomato. I could go for a tomato. And then it's like 45 minutes later, it's like I've just watched him pull out a bunch of vegetables. So I don't know. I think he's got something there.
He never cooked with them. He just showed them off.
No, he just showed them. That's it. And it was never really like there was never like an opinion he had on it, other than him being like, "Oh yeah, I don't have one of these grapes." It's like, this is a nice grape, and he just puts it to the side. No plans of what he's going to do with it, why he has it, where it came from, any of that. Just showing and kind of slightly talking about it.
Was
No,
it just
like-
vegetables? Did he have any like dairy or anything?
We had a fruit.
No
He had two
dairy.
fruits: tomato, grape.
Yeah, he had some fruits and vegetables. That was about it. And I kind of
Hmm.
thought, oh, there's like maybe a fish. Maybe this will like go into because I saw
Yeah.
like how long it was. I was like, okay, maybe he's going to prepare something. We know how much he likes fish, that he would like
Yeah.
show us how to like clean or cook something. No, none of that. Just showing the vegetables and fruit, and then kind of like a half opinion on it, and that was it.
I thought he was gonna like maybe do some tacos because you said corn, and I was like, uh oh.
That's what you would
We're
think.
in the realm. We're in the realm of tacos.
Yeah.
There's
And
no
then
call to action, no like and subscribe, no like.
not really. I mean, the very end of the video, so it cuts and then it opens on another one, and he's got a box that just says fruit on it. And he's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And he gets a sledgehammer and he smashes it. And then he like gets a knife and opens it. And he's like, what did I even have in this? What did I have? And then he pulls it out and it's like a smashed cantaloupe. He's like, oh no, a cantaloupe. I smashed this. So it's like, I think there's like a whole subculture within the culture of unboxing where you destroy
Smashing.
things. Yes.
Smashing.
Yeah. So he did that too.
Smash boxing.
Smash boxing. He's a Smash brother. So
Mhm.
I guess he's trying to get into that kind of stuff. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a script maybe next week or something like that. But
He's kind of taking a break from that to explore these unboxing and smash
Mhm.
boxing videos.
yeah.
Somebody once told me the world was going to roll me, sort of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
That's Smash Mouth. That's close. That's why I said that.
It's pretty
Okay.
close.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Yeah.
close. Thanks for saying that, Brian. So we'll move on to Chefs I Prepared for You. This is a segment we do all the time where we talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night and present it to you as if we're presenting it to the judges on Top Chef. I'll go first. Chefs I Prepared for You: lime and fajita spiced chicken breast, roasted broccoli, and sauteed sweet potatoes. You guessed it.
You guessed it. You
You
guessed
guessed it.
it.
I could have guessed it.
Now,
guessed
did you sous vide it? Did you sous vide it before
Yeah,
your
did
chicken?
you sous vide it?
I did not sous vide it
Okay.
before. I was just sauteing it in butter.
Mm.
Is the lime an actual lime or lime spice?
No, it's an actual lime.
Okay.
Oh.
Mix lime and fajita spice together. Baste it on the chicken.
Here's a question. After you guys squeeze a lime,
Here we go.
you take a bite of that bad boy?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Here's what I do. I
And
put
I'm
it
not
in my
gonna tell.
mouth. I close my lips, and then I go over to my wife and I smile real big,
Mhm.
and then I have a heart attack.
What does your wife say?
Fredo.
Yeah. She goes, Papa! Even though that's a different scene, but it's all funny.
I don't take a bite. I'm
Mm.
sorry.
You know, I love take a bite. I want to see if I can,
Handle it.
Yeah. Hold on, my wife turned her TV on downstairs. It's very loud. Let me go close my door.
Okay.
So here's
He's
something that
gone
won't be
now.
kept on the podcast. What I do though sometimes is I'll take a lime and a lemon and a seltzer, a plain non-flavored seltzer, and I
Mhm.
will squeeze the lime and the lemon juice into the bottom of the cup and then pour the seltzer on top. And apparently that's good for your liver and good for
Oh.
digestion. So I'll drink that acid drink to boost the old acids in the stomach.
That's good. So is it like it's the acidity of
Mhm.
lemon and limes? Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
But apparently there's a lot of stuff in actual raw lime juice or in lemon juice that's good for your liver.
Hmm.
It's also good. When I had kidney stones, they were like, just drink water and lemon squeeze, and that's what I did to
Yep.
help break up the
Yep.
kidney stones.
Oh.
Now, why did you have kidney stones?
I don't know.
Were you not drinking enough water?
Maybe.
Hmm.
I don't know.
How painful was it? I heard it was comparable to giving birth, Brian.
Mhm.
I mean, I mean, I have a lot. It hurt, but you know what? It's worth it for the love that I have now with this loving kidney stone in my life that just like makes
Mhm.
every day better. I wake up, I look into its little rock face, and it
Mhm.
looks like
Mhm.
me. And
Mhm.
it's becoming a little me, and it's worth the pain and suffering and what it did to my body. Completely changed my
Mhm.
body, and but it's it's
For the
worth it.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it hurt. It hurt a lot. I went to. I went to. I was living in.
did. Yeah.
I was living in DC at the time, and I went to the Howard University Hospital, and I proceeded to sit in the waiting room for 3 hours. It was at 2 a.m.
That sounds about right.
Then when they gave me medicine, they gave me Tylenol, and I said, "Can I have something stronger?" And they said, "No, we don't really do that here." Then I got sent home at like 6 a.m.
Mhm.
We don't do that kind of stuff here.
She was like,
Went to
we
the
don't really
wrong-
do." The next step up is like narcotics. We don't really get it. And I was like, "Okay, I'm not I'm not here trying to score narcotics. I'm peeing
Says
blood.
every person there trying to
exactly,
score
yeah.
narcotics.
At 3 a.m., I'm like, ooh, give me drugs. But no, man,
And
I was
that's
like,
how you were there when you were there. You're like, give me drugs, man.
I
It
was like
hurts, man.
bent over in pain, peeing blood every 3 seconds. She was like,
Yeah.
here's Tylenol. And I was like, great, I'll go fuck myself, I guess.
That is the prescribed medicine.
That shit fucking sucked. Now I see whenever people who I know on Instagram are like, I got kidney stones yesterday. They're like, I'm on morphine. I'm like, what the fuck? I just had to
give you
deal with
morphine.
it.
Brian, you should have went to George Washington.
We were close. We were living in Shaw, so we were like super close to.
I know,
Howard.
but you got to go out of your way to get that good.
Well, we
good.
didn't know that then.
We were too stupid then.
We
We
were
know it
stupid
now.
little
We know it
babies.
now.
Now I know.
All right.
Okay.
That's what I had.
Chefs, I prepared for you a grilled prosciutto and arugula pizza, baby.
Holy crap!
Grilled pizza.
Yeah, I'd never done
How'd
it
you
before.
grill it?
You got to oil the grate
Mhm.
ahead of time, and then you
Mhm.
got to really oil the bottom. I watched like 7 videos on it because I was
Nice.
like, "There's no
So
way this is
smart.
going to work."
Yeah.
Brian, are
Um,
you taking notes? This is called effort.
This is what I do with
Well,
my
I'm
time.
not taking notes, but this is recorded, so I'm okay.
Okay, you should be taking notes.
Well, that's what you would tell your professors
Watch
all the time when they were
7
like,
videos.
you're like, your professors would be like, "What are you doing?" And you just have a tape recorder. Like, I'm recording the notes. I
I'm
don't need to take
recording
notes.
everything,
And then
yeah.
you would just lean back and put your hat
Put
down
your hands
and
up.
go right to sleep in class.
Yep, drop my sunglasses that have my eyes painted open on them.
And then you'd stop showing up and you just have your friend bring the tape recorder for you and put it on
Then
the
my friend
desk.
would stop showing up, and
Yeah.
just the tape recorder would go. The recorder graduated summa cum laude. They did
Oh,
great,
wow.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a
yeah.
good career. That's
By the
Now
end of the
they
year,
work for JP Morgan now, make a lot of money.
as a court recorder.
a ton of money.
Yeah.
As a stenographer.
So yeah, I grilled it.
Do you put like raw pizza dough on the grill?
Yeah. So you gotta the main thing, which I've never really made homemade pizza before. So this is my first time, and definitely not on the grill. So really the main thing is you just have to have all the ingredients and stuff that you're gonna put on afterwards and / during all
Ready
set
to
up.
go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Mise en place.
Exactly. So you you just stretch out the pizza dough, then you oil it a little bit, you oil the grates, you turn it on, and you basically just flop it on it.
Mhm.
And then it's okay. You just kind of have to continuously check it, and eventually it just kind of it sticks at first, but then after like maybe 30 seconds,
The release.
it solidifies. Yeah, and it releases, and you just kind of have to rotate it, and then you flip it over, and then you put your stuff on, you close it. It takes like maybe 10 minutes to do.
I have a
not
question. Was this a square pizza? Rectangle?
So it could have been. It was probably more of like an oblong circular shape that I ended up doing. I didn't really put too much effort into like the shape. I just try to like make it thin in certain parts.
Did you have to poke any holes in the top with a fork so there was no air bubbles?
That's a good point. I didn't do that, but I did read that you're supposed to, but I did not do that.
Hey, you're talking to a master home pizza.
This guy
cooker.
knows.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe next time. But I was surprised with how easy it is. And also pizza dough is not, well, I guess I shouldn't talk about prices of things here. I got in trouble for it last time.
Brian, Reeves, what you got to do is you got to make your own dough. Were you making your own dough? Or
I
did you
didn't
buy the
do
dough?
that. I bought it because it's like way easier. But yeah.
Bubbly.
Mhm.
Bubbly pizza though.
Bubbly.
Here's a tip for everyone listening and they want to go make their own pizza dough. You need to use bread flour, not all-purpose flour.
None of that bleach stuff.
Well, it's just bread flour is better for bread and doughs.
Makes
Can I
sense.
ask you guys a question?
No. All right. So what'd you have for dinner,
I'm
Brian?
gonna ask it anyway. These pizzas that you make at home,
Uh-huh.
They taste
Here
better-
it comes. Here
they
it
taste
comes.
better than buying a pizza from a pizza place.
Yes. Yes. Yes,
I've
Brian.
made pizzas at home and it never tastes as good as a pizza place pizza.
Okay, and now we're gonna
Okay,
get into
and
it
now we're gonna get into a lack of effort again.
No, we try. We even make the dough. We make the sauce.
But you
Nice,
can't
Brian.
put it in the microwave.
Yes, you
telling
can't put it in the
just-
microwave. You can't put it in the toaster oven.
It's faster that way.
No,
You've
15
ruined-
minutes or less.
you've
this guy
ruined
wants to
all your
sous
utensils.
vide a pizza. He
15
tried
minutes
to
or less.
vacuum seal it and tried to sous vide it.
If it's
for-
not done in 15 minutes,
4
it's
hours.
free for me.
Yeah, it becomes free.
yeah,
Yeah, you take it to the sewer. I think we've made this exact joke before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not as good. Pizza places do it better.
no, they don't. You're just
They're
not making it right.
professionals.
You're
They're
not making
pros.
it right. That's all. How many times have you made a cast iron skillet pan pizza?
Never.
Exactly. That's my point. You're not putting in the right amount of effort.
I have a cast iron skillet. I can
Which
try
is
now.
what we've talked about, Brian, when we were on the outs.
We're
We
not
talked
doing that
about
again.
how
We're not getting into effort again.
all the things that come up is that you're not putting in enough effort.
And if to our fans they thought there was too much discussion of effort in that one episode, can you imagine what was cut out?
Yeah. I mean, half an hour of just effort grilling.
I'm just Jamal berating me. Chefs,
Yeah.
last night I
I
prepared.
call it tough love,
I
baby.
prepared for you fish and chips, but don't get all excited. It was frozen fish cutlets that were already breaded that I had, and then French fries.
Yeah, of course.
It was we had just gotten back from vacation. It was a
Of
light
course.
day. It
It
was a
was
light
too
day.
busy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I
So
get it.
it tasted kind of like crap, but
A little soggy, not as crisp
yeah.
as it should
No,
be.
they actually crisp up pretty well. It's
Oh,
the
that's
it's the Trader Joe's breaded tilapia fillets. They crisp up pretty good if you're looking for like some crappy frozen fish. Can't go
Yeah.
wrong there. Put some Old Bay on the French fries. You know how we do.
Yeah.
Malt
All right.
vinegar on all those suckers.
You know how he do.
You know how I do. And there we go. That's what I had, chefs.
Okay.
Tasty.
Yeah, it was tasty. Something like a snack on a plane. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Perfect.
Brian will find a way to fuck it up. All right.
Pawn shop.
Do you ever need a greeting card? Brian,
Is this? Oh,
do you guys ever need a greeting card?
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends on the situation.
And when you're looking for a greeting card, are you looking for like the same stuff they got in the stores all the time? Or do you want something new that someone's going to be like, this is different?
I think I want the second one.
Yeah, everyone wants something different. So here's what you need to understand. There's a new company called Oh Hey F You. And that's you. If you can, don't laugh because that's actually the company name. If you can bleep out the word and when I said it there again, because I don't know if that's good for the family, but it is a company
Wait,
called.
but how are people going to go to their website then? If we bleep
Well,
it out?
I'll get to that. Okay, so we say, "Oh hey, comma, you," and bleep that again.
Is there a comma in the website, Earl?
No, the website URL is https. Gotta put that S there. Colon // www.oheyfckyu.com.
Oh.
So that's www.oheyfckyu.com/shop. You can see all kinds of cards there. They've got cards for birthdays, for weddings, for birthday weddings. You've got animals, you've got dragons, you've got castles, you've got people, you've got shapes, all kinds of artists. But if you want to contribute to a company that's made in DC and you want to send a greeting card that's a little bit outside the norm and has unique designs made by local artists, insides are blank for whatever you want to write, Oh Hey F You is the place you want to go. It's one part internet meme, one part Hallmark, and one part pop-up ingenuity. We're not just your grandma's yearly check holder. And I've seen my grandma's yearly check holder, and it is basic. Okay. She's very basic when it comes to her check holder.
My grandmother's yearly check holders are vulgar.
Okay, well, this is made in Washington, D.C. These greeting cards are designed with goals, a spot on your refrigerator, and in your heart. With their minimalistic style and obsessively thoughtful curation, illustration, and development, these cards are simply better than the others. I want you all to hear this. If you're getting a card somewhere else, they're not as good. These are better. It's simply, they're better than the others. And if you thought things couldn't get any zanier, okay, they have a mascot. Can you guys even guess what the mascot is?
I am on their site right now.
It's a capybara.
Oh, I was going to guess anthropomorphic card.
Nope, it's a capybara, and that's nature's most chill and mellow animal. And legally, the lawyer said I can't really say that because everyone knows that a sloth is nature's most chill and mellow animal. So a capybara, which is a mix between like a rat, a beaver, and a baby bear, is maybe not the most chill. Baby bara. Is maybe not the most chill and mellow animal. It's technically categorized as a pest. But hey, go check out Oh Hey F You. Go get a greeting card, man. Use promo code PODCHEF to get 4 cards or more for $5 each, aka 20% off. Always free shipping to the US and internationally. Now, if you are based on Mars, you are going to have to pay some shipping.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
It's like $200,000 if you're in Mars.
That's not bad.
That's not
But if you're in
bad.
the US
That's
or
not bad.
internationally, yeah, if you're US or internationally, if you're based on the globe, it's free shipping all the time.
What if I
all the
lived in
time.
Australia?
Free shipping.
Okay.
Even for me, mate.
Oh,
for you, mate.
and
Even for you.
freaking Ben Simmons is here.
It's me. I'm going to do a slam dunk. Not in Philadelphia next year, though.
Yeah, that's a lot of drama going on. So it's always free shipping to US internationally. That's promo code PodChef. Get 4 cards or more for $5 each. aka get 20% off. Oh, hey, you. That's www.ohheyfcku.com/shop.
PodChef.
And we're back. Season 4, episode 13 of the podcast. Season 3, episode 13 of the show, Snacks on a Plane. This is where you press play. You've pulled up Hulu. You've been listening to the intro, and you're like, man, when are they going to get to the episode? We're getting to the episode now. So press play. This is all you need to know about the episode. Okay? And we're doing it. And they're super excited because guess what? We got Padma waking them up in the morning.
Yeah, she
crept in
she
like
just-
a cat burglar.
She just slowly slinks. She just
Slithered
on the
in.
floor. She
Yep.
slithers in. She
Yep.
tickles Casey, and Casey goes, "Oh, this is funny." And she walks into
she's
CJ's
like,
room, and then
CJ
CJ's
got
like,
too
"Thank
excited.
God, this is my dreams." And she's
Yeah.
like, "I'm not going to touch you."
Yeah, I'm not
'Cause
going to
you
touch
made it
you
weird.
because that's a problem. Yeah.
But yeah, she did do that, which they
And
like
she
to do. They like
Yeah.
waking them up at some point.
Yeah,
and
they really
disturbing
do
their
love that.
slumber. Yeah.
They had 20 minutes to serve her breakfast using only the butane burner, a Breville blender, and a selection of ingredients brought over from the Top Chef pantry. So she woke them up thinking, get up. And she was like, I'm hungry. Cook for me.
Yeah.
And so that's what they do. And people were like still in their pajama jammies. People were in robes. I was like,
Casey was in a robe.
Casey was in a robe.
Can you believe it? A robe.
A robe. Cooking in a
Cooking
robe.
In a robe.
Can we talk about the Breville blenders real quick?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Was they supposed to use those things?
Yeah. They were supposed to make something that was blended.
It didn't seem like you had to use it. She mentioned it, but at no point did she say like, have to use the Breville blender. She said like the blender will make a something. But then at the end,
Yeah.
it was like who utilized the blender the best.
Yeah, because she wanted someone to use the blender.
But I feel like it wasn't said they had to use it.
It was a commercial for the blender.
But it
was.
sort of was.
It didn't feel like in her instructions they said like part of this, game
Yeah.
is that you need to use it. It wasn't until afterwards that they were like, "Oh yeah, you needed to use it."
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
thank you for using it. Yeah.
Here's what happened. She got so caught up in like waking up the people, the
Uh-huh.
contestants. She was like, I forgot to tell them that the blender's kind of a big fucking deal.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
She was like, and CJ almost got us in trouble because he was flirting too much.
Yeah.
And I lost my train of thought. I was supposed to tell them, hey, use the blender, you dummies. Everyone's got to use the blender somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they're all in
But
a rush. They're all
they-
going really fast to
they
get their
may have been
ingredients.
Too much of a rush because Hung is grabbing stuff and he drops truffle oil and it shatters on the ground and he denies dropping it even though we can all see it. Let's listen to him.
The very, very beginning, Hung knocks a bottle of truffle oil off of the counter. We're wearing flip-flops. Some are in socks. Some are barefooted.
I did not spill the truffle oil. If I did, I apologize, but I don't think I did.
We literally see him pick something up and knock it off and then just leave it. Much like he did earlier when he dropped some of those crawfish, whatever, crayfish, and he just left it on the floor.
It is great that even in this time, before the time we live in now, that if you just blatantly lie about something that
Yeah.
has so much evidence
Yeah.
to the contrary, that there really isn't an argument against the
Yeah.
person that's just like, that didn't actually happen,
Yep.
even though you're like, I did see it happen though.
Yeah. Gaslighting is powerful back then.
Yep, it was, and Hung
it
likes
really
to do
was.
it.
And people were barefooted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Barefooted.
Casey's wearing flip-flops, thank goodness, and she almost slips on the truffle oil, but hey, we get a big close shot of them toesy.
Yeah,
roses
can
on
we
camera.
look? Feet freaks, we're talking feet covered in oil.
Yeah, baby.
Truffle oil, expensive oil. Truffle
Truffle
oil.
oil. Mm.
Gross.
You guys like breakfast? Do you guys... Even with truffle oil, you say gross? Truffles.
Truffle oil.
Just this whole part of our show I'm not into, and I really have to emphasize that it's But I
We're being
don't want to.
inclusive.
I don't
Being
want to
Being inclusive, I don't know why we're body shaming. I mean, it's just feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, the feet were on camera, but she's safe. She didn't slip and fall. Padma, when she's going to taste the food, she tells Hung to his face, I don't like steak and eggs. And then she eats his food and is like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Good job.
Hung wins the quick fire with his steak and eggs as well. So that's interesting.
What? That's just poor judging to be like, I don't like this kind of food.
Yeah.
And then she does like it.
She was like,
But I'm
now
saying,
I like it.
I get that like judging food in general is going to be like, you can't really be like totally impartial. You just can't do it. But to be like, I don't like what you made at all before I've eaten it. Like, it's just like, all right, well, fuck you. Other people do.
Yeah.
Why not eat it and then say, yeah, I thought I wasn't going to like this because I don't like steak and eggs and I don't like it.
That's what you do afterwards. Yeah. Also, Hung is classic American dish.
Yeah.
Everything's classic. This is classic.
Everything about him is classic. Everything that's been done for the last 800 years.
Yeah.
Everyone's done steak and eggs. Everyone's done what do they do? Savory French toast for the last 600 years. Everyone's done.
Yeah.
Forever. We've established
Everything we've
that
done has been done.
He's having an existential crisis, so he's just like, I'm just gonna do everything that's already been done because it's like, what the hell is the point?
So after Hung wins the quickfire, Padma's very giddy and she's like, guess what? We're leaving Miami. You're going somewhere, and gives Hung all these like boarding passes. And Hung's like, oh, what do I do with this? And it's from Continental Airlines. So it's somewhere within the continental US because they only fly inside the continental US because they're called Continental. And so
could just be the continent though. Could be Canada or Mexico.
Nope. It's continental. It's just the continental US.
Also, wait. We have to make sure we mention it. Hung also gets a copy of Padma's new cookbook.
Oh, that's right. That's what he won instead of immunity.
Which we know that she read and tasted a bunch of recipes before it went in that book.
Yep. Her new cookbook, which is called, at the time, Tangy, Tart, Hot, and Sweet.
TTHS is what I like to call it when I refer to it.
TTHS.
I'm like tangy, tart, hot,
You
sweet,
say that
whatever I'm.
You say that on
all
Fridays to all your coworkers, right?
Yeah. I'm like, oh god, hey, you know what? It's been a long week, but TTHS, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Padma also seemed a mixture of sleepy and drunk at the end of this episode.
Well, she was drinking alcohol.
Yeah, there were some boozy drinks I think that they gave her, but she just seemed a little like she was like floating a little bit.
Yeah, she really.
Yeah.
She gave them gave Hung the tickets and then like turned around like with a huge smile after like saying "see you later" and like turned around and was like
and
it was
very
like,
giggly.
okay, you are buzzed for sure.
And then like it was like, here, Hung, you hand these out.
Yeah, because she didn't want to walk.
Yeah,
she knew she couldn't do it.
She would have fell down.
Yeah. Well, the way she gave it to her, she was like, "Can you just take these? I got."
She's like, actually, Hung, can you just my head is like swimming.
Go lay down.
You just hand these out, please.
God, can someone stop the room from spinning? Why are we in a rotating penthouse?
Yeah, why am I in a Christopher Nolan video? Why is the room spinning? Why am I Joseph Gordon-Levitt fighting in a spinning room?
Yes. And these are all good references.
That's a great reference.
Yeah.
So the chefs open up their continental
And drum roll, we go to commercial break. We get a nice hangnail ending here, cliffhanger, commercial break.
and we come back and find out, guess where they're going? They're going to New York City.
Whoa.
Wow. And if you're in hot, nice Miami, the next thing you want to do is go to dirty, cold, unfriendly New York, right? That's where you want to go.
Stinky.
And so they were super excited, and the show was so excited that they gave us a montage of the chefs flying to Newark Airport before they went to New York. And let's put you in the mood of that flight, shall we? And we've landed in Newark Airport, folks. You were there, right? On the journey with us during that music. It was like, I can see that we're flying over Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
We're flying over North Carolina. We're flying around D.C. We don't want to go over D.C. We just want to fly around
can't do
D.C. Can't do it. flew up past Pittsburgh, turned to the right to get to Newark, and put her down.
And we're rocking the whole
And
way.
we're rocking the whole way. And then, you get out of the airport at Newark Airport, and you're like, okay, so let's catch this taxi to New York, because no one wants to stay in Newark. Nobody does.
It's not that bad now.
Shut up. No one wants to be in
They
Newark.
really shit on New Jersey.
And Padma's there to greet them, and they're like, oh, cool, Padma's here. She's probably going to walk us. Thank God you're here, Padma. You can walk us to our transportation to New York City, because that's why we flew fucking 6 hours up the coast to New Jersey, right? So we can go to New York. And she's like, not so fast. Your challenge starts now, and you're going to be here in Newark Airport cooking. And aren't you excited for that?
In
So
Newark.
where all your dreams go to die. Okay, so they have to cook in Newark Airport's kitchen.
One quick interjection. When
Go ahead.
we originally watched this episode, they were like, we can see New York City. Carrie was like, no, you can't. From Newark Airport, you cannot see New York City.
Well, I think they kind of were making fun of, especially Malarkey's, he told us a couple of things about his flying experience. He's never been in first class, which he assumes is the only place you could ever get food, which isn't necessarily true. But they showed a clip of him, and he was like, oh, look, New York City. And someone had like drawn a picture kind of in crayon and put it on his window, and I guess he had just looked out. He's like, oh, I can see the freaking Empire State Building.
See everything. Oh my God, it's New York skyline.
Oh, wow, look.
Yeah. And then the pilot came back,
Freaking
and they were like, would you like to come up and see the front? He was like, I can come up here?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He got the wings. He got the little wings put on his lapel. He's like, I'm the pilot.
Yeah.
They let
They
him sit
said
in the
usually we
passenger
give this to kids, but I think we're gonna make an exception today.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. And he got to use the microphone, and he was like, oh, folks, what's up? Right now we're flying over New York City.
We're going so fast.
Going grits. Yeah.
Is Malarkey his real last name?
Yep.
Yeah. Brian Malarkey.
Because
Brian
doesn't
Malarkey.
malarkey mean like shit? Isn't like cut all that malarkey? Isn't like a term?
I think it's nonsense.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
fits him.
It fits.
Fits him.
There's
A lot of
a
nonsense.
lot of nonsense with him in a good way.
He's a little silly.
He's very silly.
Had a
So-
fun hat on during this. Real fun.
Yes.
Super fun.
He had his vacation hat on.
Yeah, he had his Jurassic Park vacation hat on.
Oh, I love their look on their faces when they're like, I'm not dressed for Newark. I'm dressed for New York City. When Padma's like, yeah, your trip stops here. To get to New York, you got to cook here first. And they're like, oh, I picked this outfit out. And Dale, who's dressed like a casino dealer, is like, oh my God, with his Argyle sweater.
He was dressed, but like he acts like he wasn't dressed appropriately, but he was, because you can gamble in New Jersey, but not in New York.
Not in
Yeah,
New
no,
York.
He was
Yep.
actually dressed really appropriately.
He was,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, the elimination challenges, the contestants flew to Newark Liberty International Airport, and using the Continental Airlines kitchen at Newark Airport, they had to prepare a meal for first class passengers. And the meal had to be reheated and served aboard a Boeing 777 in a hangar to 14 Continental flight attendants and judges.
This is a good challenge.
Yeah.
This is
I
a
like it.
well done, fun, challenging cooking challenge. It's not too
Yeah.
stupid. I mean, it's like the facilities weren't great for them all the way in their cooking, which is like, I don't like when like that's the problem. Is that like it's like we can't cook because they're not a burn. That shouldn't be a thing. But
Yeah.
like this is a good challenge. I mean,
Yeah,
basically the like microwave challenge that we've seen that kind of happens a lot, but it's a good challenge.
This is a challenge. If I was on the show, I'd be a little intimidated, because it's like, oh, I'm cooking airplane food, and I've always complained about airplane food. Now,
Well, you have
And you're
like you
stand-up,
like
right?
got your whole career, based off talking about
yeah,
cooking, about
I don't
airplane
want to
food.
do the old bits, but yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, I always talk about kind of like what the heck's going on with this whole
Mhm.
airplane
You're like, what
food?
the heck's going on with airplane food?
And you just
Yeah.
really dig into broccolini in
Yeah, I'm like,
airplane food.
you ever seen these things, broccolini? More like Braga Stinky.
Mm-hmm.
It crushes.
Fucking destroys. Can't wait
Yeah.
till you can do that in front of a crowd.
Yeah, I can't wait
Again.
so I can do my bits again
Yeah.
in front of live audiences. I'm gonna tear it up.
They're
Yeah.
hungry for it too.
Oh yeah, people want to laugh.
They
It's
need
a
to
time.
laugh.
It's a
People need to
time.
laugh right now.
Yeah.
It's a time where people they need a laugh. They want to laugh. It feels good to laugh again.
Earth
you
is
know?
on fire.
Yeah, everything feels like it's burning down. It's like the comedy stage is so important now.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's our
Mhm.
last bastion of like sanity, truth
Mhm.
tellers,
Mhm. I mean, truly, you're just a bard. Back in the day, they didn't have TV. They just had people who would tell stories and sing songs. And
Mm-hmm. Caveman.
Yeah.
cavemen, you're painting on the walls.
I'm
That's why
painting on the wall.
Yeah, you do the cave wall behind you. You do a little painting of a deer.
And unlike other people's paintings, my painting doesn't care about like your feelings. It just cares about the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm putting
How
the
many
truth
cavemen
there.
got canceled? That's what I say. It's this caveman cancel culture. Just because they're saying the truth on the wall.
Yeah.
It just painting.
Like he's like,
It-
what's
it
the
joke.
issue?
It joke.
It joke. It true. What problem?
You lighten up.
What light? But you lighten up. How me get fired? Me not know what fire is.
Hey, fire up. Fire up.
You can't fire me.
Yes.
I have
We
5 saber-toothed tiger at home.
You are like night. You should be more like sun.
This is so fucking stupid.
So they gotta cook. They gotta cook,
Me sorry if drawing hurt feeling
but drawing my truth.
was not intention.
Yeah.
This is a post written on
Yeah.
the wall.
Me go away for a few months, go to counseling.
Yeah. Yeah. Me come back.
Yeah.
Make better drawing.
Me go to different cave. Write same drawings.
Prefer new cave. New cave more understanding.
This is the dumbest bit, but it is very funny.
All right, so they're cooking, and they're doing the obvious montage of them cooking in a kitchen with gigantic saucepans and frying pans in this kitchen they're not used to. And we get to a point where Hung shows us yet again how much he knows how to play this game, and how everyone else doesn't get it. That this isn't a team game. So listen.
47 people.
Where's CJ? Is he packing up his cart? I don't see CJ. I know time's running out, but he needs to finish up. But I saw Hung cleaning his knives.
Oh, you done? Yeah, I'm done.
No matter what, you don't let the person next to you go down. Even though this is a competition, I want to have my dish be evaluated next to someone's who is complete and doesn't lose on a technicality. At this point, I'm starting to realize that Hung is not the team player. I think that's wrong. I think it shows no integrity.
See, do you need help?
There's much more to being a chef than just a pretty plate that tastes good.
CJ never asked me for help, so I'm cleaning my station.
He never asked for
He's
help.
got a point.
He's got
Yeah.
a point. This is a competition. It's not a team elimination. You didn't ask for help. How do I know you need help?
Exactly. You have to vocalize it. I
You
mean,
need to vocalize
can
it.
he just turn to his left and see that CJ is struggling to open a can
Yes,
and is using
but-
a knife to open it because he can't find a can opener? Does that scream he needs help? No, because he didn't say it.
He didn't say it out loud.
Uh,
And if he is smashing the top of a can with a knife in a kind of scary, dangerous way,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that I'm supposed to be like, do you need help opening that? Do you need help with anything? I assume you knew what you're doing because you're a big, tall adult. So I
Yeah,
thought-
you're like 6'10". You know what
Yeah.
you're doing.
yeah, you're
How
the
do I-
oldest
how do
person
I-
here, I guess.
yeah.
Because you're
How do I
right.
not?
Yeah.
How do I not know that you don't like opening cans with knives that way? Like I don't know that.
Yeah, and then he maybe was worried that he might insult him by saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, you're doing this like an idiot. Do you want to
Yeah.
do this the right way?"
Casey was like, "Hey, don't ask someone for help. I did that to Clay first
Yeah.
week, and I got yelled at.
He probably saw that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Joey ripped me a new one." They get to the hangar and they're about to do the competition, and then we get introduced to some of the guest judges, and we got Jimmy Canora from Continental And then we have a guy who's finally making his return because Howie the Bulldog is gone. Anthony Bourdain is back on the show, and he looks like thinks he's like super tough. But Anthony, we all remember your last time you were here. You got checked and checked hard.
It
all right.
is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
That's literally what happened. Howie scared him away.
Yep.
Howie gets sent home.
He's
shows
immediately
up.
back. And now he's got
funny.
Yeah, he's got so much shit to say now because Howie's gone. So he's talking again. It's basically like the Friday when Debo's here, I be quiet.
Yeah.
But when you leave, I be talking again.
Yeah.
And so Debo left, and now Bourdain and Smokey can start talking again.
Yeah, Bourdain's got mind control over Howie.
Yep.
When he's here, he be quiet.
I be quiet.
But when he leave, he be talking again.
I be cooking again. So Dale miscounted his portions, and someone doesn't get a steak. And Dale, that's not good when you're trying to serve passengers on a plane. Can you imagine being on that plane where everyone gets this steak au poivre, and you're the one person who doesn't? I don't want to be on that plane because that plane's going down.
Yeah, that person's going to be livid.
I think we all know that plane's going down.
And is that maybe what has happened to Malarkey and some of his flights where he didn't get a meal that was long enough where everyone just gets a meal? You don't have to be in first class, where they just ran out and they didn't tell him. And then he just was patiently sitting there and just like, well, if I'd been in first class, I would have gotten a meal. And maybe that's what they should have told that guy. Well, if you'd worked a little harder, you got to first class. Then you could have had
was sitting in business class. Yeah.
I love how they presented the flight attendants with like the military Top Chef music, dun 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 dun, like stormtrooper.
They marched into the plane. Yeah,
and they're like, whoa, dun 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 dun, and they're all doing that. Okay, bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Yes.
Bye bye now. Bye bye.
When is the Death Star going to be finished?
Your lack of first class.
Your lack of first class.
I find your lack of first class.
Yeah. Bane. Yeah.
Some people are born in first class.
Yeah.
Some people, you
just adopted it.
You merely adopted first class. I was born in it.
Yeah. First time I saw business class, I was already a man.
Yeah.
Welcome to my hole, Batman.
Yeah.
I grew up in this hole.
Yeah. That's when Tom was like, I wouldn't serve fish on a plane. And Bane was like, it would be painful for you.
For you.
Who
was the Bane of this? Was it maybe Tom? Was Tom the Bane of this?
Tom.
Yeah.
I think it was Tom.
Yeah.
Do you guys did you guys know that sea bass is a super fatty fish?
I didn't until this episode when Hung said it 9,000 times.
And listen, Hung was right.
He was right.
Hung is an asshole,
right.
and he is quite a character, but he is right about a lot of things, even when he's lying sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Tom,
because Tom was like,
what are you doing cooking fish? And he's like, well, chef, sea bass, it's a very oily fish. It's going to keep the moisture. There's no way this fish dries out. And I was like, okay, take it easy.
Yeah. Dude was
and
right.
And then he was right. Everyone loved his dish.
Yeah. And then you know what the hardest part of this challenge is? People keep moving my simmer pot off the thing. It's nearly impossible to overcook sea bass.
Yeah,
I loved how they talk about food that way. You have to try hard to ruin this sea bass.
Yeah, it's so oily. It's so moisture ridden. You got to really overcook it.
Yeah, it's like unless you're some kind of like fucking idiot like Clay, then you can probably do it. Most normal people, they don't overcook.
Meanwhile, Sarah decided to cook salmon, and that's very easy to overcook, and she does overcook it and cooks it too hard and sends it to Bourdain and Tom's like, this is most disappointing.
Yeah.
I expected better from you.
This salmon is bad.
She was like, maybe I shouldn't. Did I make a mistake cooking salmon? She's like, not as big as a mistake as I made eating it.
Mm-hmm.
Bourdain was like truly living with his Howie gone moment. Just being like, ew, this is yucky.
Yes.
The broccolini comes out and he's like, I had one bite and stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he heard someone in the back with like a thick New York accent. He got really worried. He turned around. And he's like, is he here? No, I don't see him.
You told me he wasn't here.
Yes.
You said he wouldn't be here.
Wait,
you said he wasn't. You said no one who's read my book would be here. Casey makes veal medallions and Bourdain loves it. He laps it up.
The idea of eating baby cow at like in a plane is just weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, I get it as like, I mean, I wouldn't eat it, but like, I get it as like an Italian dish, but on a plane, we're serving veal.
Yeah.
Seems a little much.
I would question. I question veal in general, but I would question veal on a plane.
Yeah. I try to only do nice things on planes because I feel like you're so close to God that he is seeing it even faster than you think. So if you're up there fucking around eating babies, he's like, oh shit, I'm going to send this plane down.
Oh, okay, so you want some turbulence that scares the life out of you. Okay, you go.
Great.
Have some turbulence. Yeah.
See ya.
You're
dead.
Want to be a. So yeah, Casey wins with her veal nuggets.
Who served the giant steak?
That was Brian, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Brian served a huge steak.
They make the joke of it looks like a Flintstone style, and it really was. It was very, very large.
Well, they had to they had to serve it evenly on both sides of the plane, or it was going to go down.
Yeah,
they had to be very aware. If they put like one steak on the left side, the plane will tip.
They had to put plates on left and right at the same time. Otherwise, the plane was going to just do a barrel roll.
It was going to it was going to do a barrel roll. Star Fox 64.
So let's listen to Bourdain review CJ's dish.
Thought looking at the broccolini was, dude, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? First, bad decision to even use the vegetable and cook it that way.
Right.
Really bad decision to serve it after you saw it coming out of the oven. It was horrifying. Unimaginable that could be served in any customer situation. In prison, you couldn't serve it. It was wretched.
CJ, is this dish that sends you home?
No. No. I think it was a good dish.
And I like this because it's like food is subjective. Bourdain says, I wouldn't serve this in a prison. It's so terrible. And then CJ says, I think it was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
It was a pretty good dish.
My dish was good. Bourdain's being boisterous now because Howie's gone. That's the part that was cut out when CJ's like, he's just talking because Howie's not here to check his ass.
Yeah.
So I'm taking everything he's saying with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
And Howie didn't like, and Bourdain didn't like that. So he was like, get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
Get him out of here. And they do. They get rid of CJ.
Tom said it was the worst thing he'd eaten in 3 years of the show.
And it's like, Marcel made avocado and bacon ice cream. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I think that's worse.
Definitely.
Than like burnt broccolini.
Burnt broccolini. Come on.
They never said what was wrong with it, did they? They were just like, they said it was bad. He said it was a little overcooked. They never quite said what it was. Bourdain did say, and this could be where we know what was wrong with it, is that it had seemed like he found it under Bob Marley's bed, like in Bob Marley's room.
Yes.
Which means the problem is that it was wheat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was giving him dank.
Yeah. He served him dank. And you know what? Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with
that. The plane was grounded, but them diners are getting a little high.
Yeah. I think they are feeling real irie.
I think they're feeling a little irie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Bourdain was irate. So let's listen to CJ's elimination.
CJ, please pack your knives and go.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I just want to say thank you very much for this experience. I appreciate all the feedback. I've learned a lot, met a lot of great people, and it was a great experience.
Thank you, CJ. And good luck to you.
Thank you. Good luck. Sayonara. It's been great knowing you guys. Great meeting you. Bye, babe.
Good job. Great memories, good times.
I see.
I think I've handled myself well in this competition, made a lot of new friends, made connections. Who knows how else I would have made them. But I'm looking forward very much to what's going to happen next in my life. That's one of the things this show has really done for me, is kind of open my horizons when I own my own place. And I think that's coming up for me.
But first of all, I'd love to sit down and have a beer with Anthony Bourdain and talk shit about my broccolini.
Well, you have plenty of time to do that.
Yep. That's
you're out. So
he's got some very confident energy. At the very beginning, he's like, everyone get out of the way so I can say something. And the judge is like, I guess we have to. And then he kind of does a pitch for another job at the end where he's like, I'd like to be on Bourdain's show.
Yep. And I think that's why the cameraman changed in like season 4 and it was so tall. The angle was always pointed down.
Yeah. CJ's working the cameras, the ones and twos.
The ones and twos. Getting the shots. So CJ's gone home, and now Hung is the new point total leader. And then Dale, and then Casey, and then Dale, and Sarah, and then in last place is Brian. So that's who's left. We're getting down to it. We got 3 weeks left.
Yeah.
It's getting
Season
down
3.
to the nitty gritty.
It's a pretty good episode.
Yeah, I liked it. They did everything with it.
So let's end this podcast with a segment that we always do called Brian Jackson in Action. This is where Brian's going to tell us a story of him being in action recently. Go ahead, Brian.
It was very similar to Brian Jackson in Action last week, which I feel like was me talking about taking action with a fan. But oh, you know what? Let's set this up for next week. I ate at Kraft. I ate at Tom's flagship restaurant, Kraft, in New York City the other week. And next week, so that's my action. And next week, I'll give a nice review. I'll do an in-depth analysis of my meal at Kraft.
Right. That was a little teaser right there for next week. So that's it for season 4, episode 13 of Pod Chef. We'll see you next week. Until next time, we're going to pack our knives and go.